Hello and welcome to the Ancient Existence podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Christian.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Rosa. Today's topic is artificial intelligence in entertainment.
And we're going to start off with some questions. And the first question for everyone is, what do you think about artificial intelligence and why? Let's take it around the table.
Who would go first?
Christian, shoot, you have some opinions.
Well, I think artificial intelligence is great. Just overall, it's great. It's a good movement. It benefits science. It benefits technology for mankind. However, I think most people, not everyone of course, I think most people are kind of afraid that artificial intelligence is going to sort of switch out everything that mankind has made in a way. We see that it's affecting our entertainment industry, and we see that it's possible for an AI to remake a piece of music, such as the sound of a guitar. While it's not even actually playing a guitar, it's just making it through technology. And that's scary. That's actually really scary.
Well said.
Yeah, I think it's kind of scary. Of course, it's great for like factories that they can make some machines that can take over some hardworking humans' job, but it's kind of scary that the music thing, for example, that they can just make something out of nothing and then it sounds like something that already exists. And I think it's kind of scary to make robots that kind of, take over. And I'm just scared of robots taking over the world, because they're supposed to have feelings but not too much of that, because then they can take over the world and that's not a good thing.
Yeah, I think our perception of AI has been really tainted with the science fiction genre as of late, because a lot of it is very much, oh no, this robot is mean now. But as you said before, Rosa, it needs to have a little emotion. Why does it need to have a little emotion in the beginning? One could say it's to make sure it sounds more human-like, but at a certain point there needs to be like, we don't need it to be more human. It can already replicate human speech extremely well. Even better if it's just completely made up and not taking sounds from a voice bank, like they do with Vocaloids and GPS and stuff. That I find scary, but I also find it really, really interesting, because it shows how much the humans have become obsolete in a way. But it also opens up for a whole new avenue of jobs that we haven't even imagined yet. Like 100 years ago, people were plugging in and out telephone wires to make sure people got the right call. We don't think about that at all anymore. So imagine what happens 100 years in the future. It's extremely fascinating in that regard, and I personally welcome our robotic overlords. Please don't kill me. Christian, you said a little about using AI to make guitar sounds and stuff. Why do you think we as a society wanted to do that? And do you think it's necessary?
Well, I think that's a very interesting question. Personally, I kind of have the mindset that entertainment is something that we do because we like to entertain ourselves. It's what we do to have fun, such as watching a movie or playing an instrument or playing a video game. It's something we actually do because we feel joy and we feel happy when we do it. So I don't see why we would want an AI to take over this part of our lives. Playing an instrument for us is sort of the same as just listening to music, and if you enjoy playing, let's say, the guitar, why would you want to just listen to the music rather than play it?
Well, it could be seen like as a challenge for like programmers and stuff, because not everyone can play the guitar, and people who want to compose music but does not have a musical bone in their body might want to. But it feels weird to have like a backing soundtrack completely made by robots. Thoughts? How's that?
No.
Alright then. Let's talk a little about personal experience, because like that's probably the best example we can come with in terms of like how does it interact with people, and do we need to be terrified yet?
Yes, I have some personal experience with AI when I was in Japan. At a train station there was this robot called Pepper. It was a little over a meter tall, and it was having eye contact with me while I was getting a ticket for the train, and it spoke Japanese to me, and I could change the language into English, so it would speak English to me, like "Where are you going today?" or "Good morning," which is kind of nice that it could talk to me, but also a little bit creepy. But they were very convenient because they were looking you in the eye, and when you were moving your head, it would like follow your eyes. So it was very interactive, which was kind of creepy, but also kind of nice at the same time. And it had like a little screen in the front of its chest where I could check in with my ticket to get the train. So I think that was a very weird but kind of cool experience, because it was talking to me and I could change the language if I needed to. Yeah, I just think it's crazy that Japan already has robots in train stations and we don't have it here in Denmark yet. So yeah.
Japan has always been like on top of their technology game.
Yeah.
Would you say it made your experience at the train station better or worse?
Maybe better because it could speak English. I have studied Japanese, but I'm not that good at it. So it was nice that it said good morning to me in Japanese. I understood, but I would rather have it speak English to me, because not all Japanese people who are working at train stations can speak speak English, sorry. So it was nice that it could just switch over to English and say, "Where are you going today?" and "Here's your ticket," and stuff like that. So it was nice that it could speak perfect English and I would understand everything, and it had like subtitles and stuff, so if you couldn't hear it then you could read it. So it was nice that it could speak perfectly English. So yeah, that was nice.
Sounds very convenient.
Yes.
What about you, Christian? Have you ever experienced AI?
I actually haven't. I've never even seen a robot, a working robot that is, in real life.
You haven't talked to Siri ever?
Well, I don't think of her as, that kind of robot. When I think of an artificial robot, like the example you made, Rosa, I would think of an actual robot that looked kind of humanoid and would actually move and such, while Siri is just a program on my phone that talks to me as if I'm a madman. But I do see your point that Siri is of course also an AI program to, well,
help you.
Be of help me in, well, my everyday problems, everything that I could ever imagine having a problem with actually.
Yeah. I have a few experiences. One in terms of entertainment was when I was a little girl, I won this robot dog at a school fair, and it was such a weird robot because it wiggled around on the floor as a real dog, and it would bark and all that stuff, and then it would respond to sound, which was extremely creepy, might I add. But you could like clap at one end of the room and it would over to you. And it was the weirdest thing, and I was so terrified of it as a child that I would just have it like turned off in the corner, and only just like pull it out when someone else was over, and I didn't know how to entertain children, so I just put that there. And in that case, I was kind of thankful for it, because it could entertain when I couldn't. It could hit a demographic that I had no knowledge of, even though I was also a small child. Which I guess would explain why AI is being used in entertainment, because it widens like the demographic of people you can get out to. AI I also see a lot in computer games, I would guess.
Well, y'all seen some shit.
So, our final thoughts are that AI can be beneficial to humans, and it can also be really scary because they can take over every human job ever.
Yeah, AI can, like, it has been used in entertainment before, and it's getting definitely more used in entertainment. And while it is certainly a scary thing to some extent, because for especially people working in the entertainment industry, it can also like help make it more accessible. Like if we maybe made it Google Translate good, it could help make articles more accessible for people, make books and movies a lot quicker translated, which would also bring out entertainment to around the world. So I would think it's necessary in some degree.
So at the end of the day, we can all agree that AI has its benefits and it can be helpful in certain situations. However, sometimes that help is kind of overkill, right? So in total, we think that AI would help in like the business related part of the world, as in it can be a good benefit to have at your disposal. But there are certain things that we just don't need robots to do for us. Is kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So, as a final thought, do you guys think that AI is necessary in entertainment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Great.
Glad we agree. This was the show, folks. Have a very nice evening, day, night, whenever you're listening to this. Hope you're doing great, and be nice to a robot. You don't know when it will develop angry emotions and beat you up.
Have a nice day.